With what you have learned in this class through the use of Google Forms and Google Sheets, and a lot of the formulas that you've already learned through this class, gives you the stepping stones and a lot of the information that you need to really go out there and create robust and very useful computer programs for your own farm or ranch. And one of the things that I want you to remember whenever we're dealing with computers and using computers in ag is, well, what were computers designed for? Computers were designed to take those monotonous tasks that we have to repeat over and over and over again and get rid of a lot of them. Make it simpler, make our lives easier. Rather than going through the long process of doing everything, we can just type in a few formulas, a couple of key buttons, and we can make the computer do it for us. Well, with what you've learned so far, you've already learned a lot. But in this last assignment, I want to show you some other key formulas, some other formulas that you may not use very often, but each one is useful in their own right, and they all have a place. You may never actually use any of these formulas, but you might use a couple of them, find them to be pretty handy. So some of those formulas that we're going to go over, and whenever you're completing your assignment, the formula that we're going to be learning is going to be in the upper left-hand corner of the particular sheet. So in this sheet, we're going to be using the split formula. On the next tab, we're going to be learning the sort in formula, followed by several different count formulas, two different sum if or sum ifs formulas, a couple of random number generator formulas, this unique formula, and then a couple of them that are more specific to Google, such as import range, and then import this HTML. Let's go ahead and get started with this split formula. Now, if you remember back to assignment 16, I had you join two cells together. And the way we joined those two cells together was using that AND symbol. Like, for example, if we had my name, for example, split in two different cells, I had you come in here and say equals this cell plus this AND. I'm going to go ahead and put a space in between my name and my last name, and then I can combine those two cells using that AND symbol. But what if I want to split that name up? What if, for example, I already have my name, and then, as you can see, a couple of other instructors' names here at Casper College, and I have all of these, and I want to actually split them into first and last name. The way you do that is with that split formula. The way you run that split formula is you say equals split, open parenthesis, you click on the text that you want to split, or the cell that you want to split. And then it asks, what is the delimiter, or this word right here? And that word right there is the character or characters you use to split the text. So I want to split this into my first and last name. And as you can see, there's a space in between. So what I'm going to do is, because this is a text, I'm going to use open quotations, space, close quotations, and say, close parenthesis, say enter. And as you can see, it splits my name. It split it right where that space is. And if we look at each one of these, there isn't a space after each one of the names. It splits it at that space. So let's do the same thing with the next name, with Mr. Jones's name. We're going to use equals split. We're going to click on the cell we're going to split, comma. Again, we're just splitting it by the space in between the names. And it splits the name into two. So now we can just drag that down, and we can see that it has split all of these names. Well, what if it's not a space that we're trying to split? Maybe it's a dash or a colon or a semicolon or an apostrophe or an @ sign or any other symbol that we commonly use in text. Well, very simply done. We just click on the cell we're trying to split. Or we start off with split equals split. Click on the cell that we are trying to split, which is A10 in this example. We're going to split it into the litter number and the pig number, and we're going to split it using that dash. We're going to take and say the dash is our delimiter that we're going to split. So we say open quotation, dash, close quotation. Now it's very important to put these quotations in there because this is a text. It's not a formula. Anytime we're using text, we got to put it in quotations. So we go ahead and split it by that dash, and it automatically shows up where we have the number 1 here and the number 2 there, and we're splitting it by their litter number and the pig number. So we can do this again. Equals split. We're going to do A11. We're going to again split it by the dash, so open quotations, dash, close quotations, press enter. And it's going to split it. Then we can drag it all the way down. And now, very quickly, we have split this up between litter number and the pig number. So what that allows us to do is now if we wanted to, we could go out there and sort by the litter number, or we could sort by the pig number, for example. And whenever it was in this format, it was in a text format. We couldn't really filter or sort that or do anything with that. But now by being allowed to split those up, we could sort this by the order of the pig number or by the litter number if we wanted to. Now, what if you are given a set of information like you have here, and this is, say, 101 Angus is in pasture 2, she was bred, and then her age is 2 years old. We got 102 Angus, pasture 5, open, and she's 2 years old as well. And we have all this information, but it's all split up by colons, like our semicolons, and we want to split that information up. Instead of it being kind of in this text format, we want to split it up into a table. Now, we can actually use this split formula to do the same thing here. And we can actually split it multiple times using one formula if we're trying to split it by the same sign every time. So the way this looks is if we say equals split again, we're going to split that cell, and we are going to split it using these semicolons. You can see there's semicolons everywhere that I want to split it. So I'm going to open quotation, put my semicolon in there, close quotation, close parenthesis, press enter. And it's going to split that up. Now I can sort by tag number, or I could sort by which pasture they're in. I could sort by if they're bred or open, and I could sort by their cow age. Whereas if they were in this format still, that information, that's good to have, but I couldn't really adjust it how I needed to. So I'll go through that process again. We're going to say equals split. The text that we're trying to split, open quotation, semicolon, close quotation, enter. I can simply drag that down. And now it's all split up. But what if you also want to sort by tag, or you want to sort by breed? Now you can't really sort by tag and breed very efficiently, or we really can't sort by breed at all because it's still reading as text. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something very simple here. We're going to use a second split function. We're going to say equals split. Click on this cell up here, and we're actually going to split it by a space, because we're going to split that 101 and that Angus, and there's a space in between, so we're going to split those two. So we say enter. We're going to simply drag this down. And then, because we don't really want to split pasture 2, or we don't want to split that up, we're going to use simple cell referencing right here. And drag that across, and drag that down. And now, we have it all split up in such a way where we could filter it as we needed to.